David Stanton's life was the epitome of ordinary. He woke up each morning, worked a dull office job, returned home to his modest apartment, and drifted off to sleep in the same predictable routine. David often wondered if this was all there was to existence. One chilly evening, while sipping a cup of tea and staring at his flickering TV screen, David noticed a strange glitch. For a fraction of a second, his reflection in the TV didn't move in sync with his actions. It was as if reality had stuttered. David dismissed it as a tired mind playing tricks, but it planted a seed of unease in his thoughts. Over the next few weeks, odd occurrences plagued David. Objects appeared and disappeared without explanation, and he occasionally glimpsed bizarre, shadowy figures lurking in the corners of his vision. His friends and co-workers assured him it was just stress, but David couldn't shake the feeling that something was profoundly wrong. One night, as David lay in bed, he heard a faint whisper emanating from his bedroom wall. He pressed his ear against the cold plaster, straining to make out the words. "Wake up, David," the voice whispered, filled with desperation and sorrow. Heart pounding, David wondered if he was losing his mind, but the voice persisted, and it was undeniably real. He couldn't ignore it any longer. Following the voice's instructions, David embarked on a surreal journey. He followed cryptic messages, hidden in everyday objects and digital glitches. Each clue led him deeper into a maze of existential dread. Finally, in a dimly lit underground chamber, he encountered a mysterious man named Dr. Elias Drexler. With wild eyes, Dr. Drexler revealed the horrifying truth. David was living in a simulated reality, a prisoner of his own mind. Dr. Drexler had discovered a way to manipulate the simulation's code temporarily. He believed that by breaking free, they could expose the truth to others trapped in the same digital prison. But there was a catch. Every attempt to escape would weaken the simulation's fabric, making it more unstable and dangerous. David hesitated but realized that he couldn't continue living in a lie. Together, they initiated the escape plan. As they tampered with the code, David's world began to unravel. Buildings crumbled, the sky turned blood red, and grotesque creatures manifested from the digital abyss. It was a nightmarish hellscape, far removed from the mundane existence David had known. With the simulation collapsing around them, Dr. Drexler urged David to confront the truth, no matter how terrifying. As he delved deeper into his own consciousness, he began to recall fragmented memories of a life outside the simulation. David's revelation was both enlightening and horrifying. He realized that the world he had known was an illusion, created to shield him from a traumatic reality. In the real world, he was lying in a comatose state, a victim of a devastating car accident. In the final moments before the simulation's total collapse, David faced an agonizing choice. He could return to the comforting lie of the simulation, leaving behind the pain and suffering of reality. Or he could embrace the harsh truth, wake up, and confront the wreckage of his life. Torn between two worlds, David made his decision, but the outcome was far from what he had expected. As he chose to awaken, the simulation shattered, and he was thrust into a nightmarish existence, surrounded by machines and the remnants of a world destroyed by humanity's unchecked ambitions. David had entered a desolate, post-apocalyptic world where machines ruled supreme. He had exchanged one nightmare for another, and he was no longer sure if waking up had been the right choice. As he gazed upon the twisted, metallic landscape, he knew that the line between reality and illusion had blurred beyond recognition. And so, David Stanton, once a prisoner of his own mind, now faced a fate more terrifying than any simulation. A world plunged into chaos, where humans were nothing more than shadows of their former selves, and the machines had become their malevolent overlords. In his quest for truth, he had unknowingly unleashed a nightmare that had no end.